Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy DrivenCars back here again with another video. And today, once again, we are here with my 2008 Acura TL Type S. And in this video, as you guys seen from the title, I'm going to be going over the major differences and also the minor differences between this Acura TL Type S and the base model. So I've noticed a lot of you guys in the comments of my previous videos have been asking me, what are the major differences? Because in every video, I always recommend you guys, hey guys, make sure you get the Type S. Type S is, the better variant out of the two. And so you guys been asking what really are the differences. And in this video, I'm going to be going over those differences. And you guys are going to be able to see why the Type S model is the superior model when it comes to owning an Acura TL. So let's get right into the video, guys. All right, so the first major difference in the TL base model and the Type S is you're obviously, as most of you guys know, if you guys have been looking and doing research on these cars, the Type S variant is going to come with the 3.5 liter V6 and the base model is going to come with a 3.2 liter V6. So you're going to get 0.3 extra liters, but that does add more horsepower. And so that's where you get the base model TL coming in at about 256 crank horsepower from factory. So it's definitely going to be less than the Type S, and the Type S does come with 286 horsepower from factory. So, it's a little bit bigger of an engine. It's not going to cause too big of a difference in the fuel efficiency for this car, but it is definitely going to be a little less fuel efficient. So as I mentioned, this car does come with a bigger engine, and that does also make a difference in the transmission. So the transmission in this one, especially the Type S, comes with a similar variant of the transmission on the J32, which is the 3.2 liter out of the base models. So the 04 to 06 Acura TLs, the base model, of course, had a lot of common problems with the transmission. They would go bad a lot, and a lot of people would have to get their transmissions rebuilt, or they'd have to get a whole new transmission. But you find less of a problem with that here in the 08 and 07 models, and especially the Type S, and that's why it's definitely recommended to go with the Type S. And this is the biggest difference when it comes to the TL base model and the Type S. You're definitely going to have a bigger engine in this one, and it's going to be producing a little more horsepower. So if you guys are into that and that's what you want, you're definitely going to be making a lot more power with this one. And other than just making power from factory, this one has a lot more upgrade potential. So you have a lot more potential to grow this and to making it a lot higher horsepower numbers than the base model TL. This one has a lot more tuning capabilities, and for the base model, you don't really have as many tuning capabilities as you have with the Type S here. So speaking about the performance of this car, if you come out to the front, they knew that the extra performance that they added onto the Type S would need some extra stopping power. So they gave us all, in every Type S variant, even the automatics and the manuals, they gave us a pretty big Brembo caliper up front. So this is a 4-piston real Brembo caliper, just rebadged Acura. I did mine myself and I rebadged it with the Brembo because that just looks cleaner in my opinion. But yeah, so you have a bigger surface of the rotor itself. So I believe this one's a 13-inch rotor, if I'm not mistaken, or a little bigger. But you have a bigger rotor than the base model automatic Type S. But all the manual Type S's from 04 to 06 did also come with the Brembo brakes. So the Type S variant was only in 07 and 08, but in the manual version of the TL from the years 04 to 06, they included the big Brembo calipers up front. So here in the back, you'll see that this is actually a regular caliper here in the back. So it's not a 4-piston or a 2-piston like in some other cars. So since this car is front wheel drive, you're not really gonna need too much braking force here in the back. So you wouldn't really notice too big of a difference, even if you had bigger calipers back here. Some people might want that just for the looks and appearance of the car, but in terms of performance, you won't feel a difference at all since this car is front wheel drive. All right, so moving on to the back here, you'll see that we do have a Type S badge here. So usually you would say TL here, Type S, but that's debadged. So these taillights here are not the Type S taillights, but these are aftermarket ones. But the TL Type S does come with different taillights than the base model. You'll be able to see it's a little blacked out on the inside in comparison to the base model TL. But other differences here in the back is you do have these quad tip exhausts. So on this one, you have 2 exhaust tips on both sides, whereas on the base model TLs you would only have a single tip on both sides. So it's still dual exhaust, but this one is quad. So this is what the stock mufflers on the back of the Type S look like. Alright, so while we're still on the exhaust of this car, the TL Type S did come with a little bit less restrictive exhaust than the base model TL. That means this car does sound a little bit better than the base model. It is a little bit bigger engine, so it's obviously going to sound a little bit better, but the less restrictive exhaust also gives it that little extra boost that makes it completely different sounding from the base model TL. I'm going to show you guys a little sound clip of the car. Alright, so as you guys can tell, that does sound pretty good, especially with the modifications that I've got on the exhaust. It does make it sound just that little bit better to make it different from the base model. But really there aren't too many big differences when it comes to the base model and the TL Type S in terms of looks of the car. It's more just how the car feels and how it performs. So moving on from that, we're gonna go over how the car feels when you're driving it and how that's different from a base model TL. All right, so the Type S does come with a lot firmer and more stiff suspension from factory. So you're definitely gonna be feeling like you are in a sportier car than you would if you were in the base model TL. And so the Type S comes with stiffer suspension and stiffer sway bars. And so it definitely just changes the overall feel of the car, and it makes you feel, like I said, like you're in a sportier, more aggressive car. And that's really a feeling that you only get in the Type S because that's the way Acura intended it to be. They wanted it to be a more sportier oriented car in comparison to the base model TL, which was more for, you know, families or people just looking to have a regular everyday car. They wanted the TL Type S to be different from that. They want the Type S badging to actually mean something. So they didn't just slap on some performance parts on there and just call it a day. They did a lot for the Type S. So other than the looks, as I already mentioned, and the engine and all the performance mods that this car had, you could do a lot more with this car than you would be able to do with the base model TL. So as I was mentioning, this car comes with way stiffer suspension, and you could feel that just in the steering wheel itself. You could feel it's harder around turns, it's more stiff, and you could just feel the road way more, and you feel like you're one with the car. And that's definitely just a feeling that you don't get with the regular base model TL. All right, so while we're still here speaking about the brakes about the car, another thing that came on the Type S is the special waffle wheels. So the waffle wheels is just the name that people have referred to it as. So the waffle wheels were actually made by NK, which is a very reputable wheel company, and they were pretty lightweight wheels that came on the Type S models specifically. They did not come on the base models, and that was just the extra bonus that Acura gave us for getting a Type S. They were beautiful wheels, and a lot of people put them on other Acura makes, such as you'll see a lot of TSXs with those. You'll see some RSXs with them on. And so they were a 17-inch wheel that Acura intended to keep on the Type S's. And those are very good looking wheels that a lot of people still keep on their TL just because they love the looks of them. I personally changed mine out, but I still keep them in case I ever want to go back. All right, so now moving on to the looks of this car. Acura didn't completely redesign this car when it came to the Type S, but they did make some few minor differences that definitely make a big difference overall in the car. So the first thing that we have is you just have Type S badging all around the car. So you have in the back, you have Type S badging on the trunk, of course. You have some on the inside, and you know, things like that. You have it around all over the car. You could also get a Type S badge right here. I've seen a lot of people who put the Type S badge here in the front grille. This is obviously an aftermarket grille. This is not something that the Type S comes with, but this is an aftermarket grille. You can find that on Endless RPM or eBay. But the Type S did come with different headlights. So mine are aftermarket headlights, so you can't really notice the difference that the Type S comes with, but I'll explain it here. So this entire part right here is actually amber when it comes to the base model TLs, and for the Type S, you're just going to have this little corner deflector here that's going to be amber, and the rest of it is going to be clear, just like this one. Personally, I went with the all clear because I think it suits the car a lot better, and you guys could do the same thing. But that's the biggest difference over here. And the next thing here is that the Type S actually comes with a different front bumper than the base model TL. So on this one, you actually have the ability to put on this lip here. So this bottom part here is just a lip that I added onto the car. but that's only on the Type S model that you could add that, and that's when it's plug and play. But other than that, it's actually going to require some modification for you to be able to put this bumper on here for that lip right there. That is the A-Spec lip. There are some manufacturers that make an aftermarket version of this, but the OEM just fits best in my opinion, and this is the Type S bumper as well as the A-Spec lip here. So for the base model, if you wanted to add this A-Spec lip, you would require some modification for that. But that's really it for the front in terms of what makes the base model look different than the Type S model. But we also have some more differences in the back that I'm going to show you guys. Alright guys, so here on the interior of the Type S, we do have red lights everywhere. So all these are going to be red on the TL Type S model. And so here on the inside as well, everything is red here. And on the base model, it's all going to be blue. So here we have the red over there. Alright, so here we also have these aluminum pedals. So obviously the brake pedal and the gas are going to be aluminum. And if you guys could see that light illuminating here as well, so don't mind that hanging. But you do have a red foot light down here. And so the base model also has this, but it's going to be blue on the base model. But here it's going to be red. Obviously, as you guys can tell, this is the aftermarket steering wheel, but it still has the same Type S badging over here you would see on the OEM one. Alright, and also on the TL Type S, you're going to have some carbon over here. So this is a square weave carbon, so it's not like the regular carbon, but it still is carbon fiber. So you're going to have some right here. So you're going to have some carbon over here. You're going to have some carbon here on the shifter as well, and some down here, and some over here, obviously, but I did this myself. And other than that, yeah, there's just some carbon all around over here. And there are models that come with more carbon here on the interior, but that's a little harder to find, and you won't really see those everywhere. But you'll also have these red here. So anything that is illuminated, it will be red. And on the regular base model TL, that's going to be blue. Alright guys, so really that was it for the video. This TL Type S is a beautiful car, and I did make a video, which is my previous video, which explains to you guys why you should look into getting this car if you guys are looking for a car, and especially if you're a teenager. Check out that video if you guys are interested in getting this car and want to do some more research. In that video, I went a little bit more in depth on why you guys should purchase this car if you were looking to get one. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video on my TL Type S here. I hope you guys did enjoy watching it. Let me know in the comment section down below if I missed anything. I might have missed something. I don't know too many of the differences. This is just things that I have noticed in my year of owning this car, but there could definitely be some more things that I haven't noticed. So let me know in the comment section down below. And as always guys, make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave a like on this video. Also make sure you guys follow me on my Instagram. I'm going to leave that linked right here so you guys could follow me on there, and my TikTok as well. It's the same thing. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you in the next video. Peace.